Hi, ladies. This is mainly intended for ladies, but educational probably value for gentlemen as well. Some, and certainly in the military and industrial complex worldwide, regarding use of technologies to keep people alive. Obviously, various whether medical type things or advanced technologies, which I can't speak of, relating to life and death. Part of it, forms of robotic type technologies. I had personally previously discussed sister technologies, Mantech and DARPA, semi-secret programs. Now we have NATO transformation dealing with current technologies, but quite advanced from what we talked about. The current general who's commanding officer implementing newer, more modern technologies, quite much more towards the Mantech. And really, this is relevant movies in the public sector and the private sector, or rather civilian sector, would be Blade Runner, Terminator, those types of movies. There might be several other, but certainly the first that I remember was Blade Runner, and then Arnold Schwarzenegger, Terminator, and now there was Blade Runner 2049. I can tell you a lot on those subjects, not only from an observation. Unfortunately, we do not recommend that observers or somebody read a manual. These are living, such as myself, living people, and you're just using a manual, unless you are one of us, or maybe the only male in the, because I was a human with a volunteer to study the programs that have kind of inducted in them, and many of them were, but mostly female. These technologies on humans, how to keep people alive during things like nuclear warfare. I could write encyclopedias. This is a teaser, because the real problem that we have, maybe I have the only remaining, because I was kept out the sexual markets because I had quality, not to toot my own horn, but they decided to keep me off the sexual scene. So we're turning the page on the season with a fall solstice. For me personally, it's like a contingent, related to like school, change of school years. Everybody kind of start a new year for school in the fall. So tomorrow being solstice, it's a good time for me to get started. So to summarize, probably at least 2.5 years with no sexual activity whatsoever. Last girlfriend was 5 years. It's all, I guess, under a mutual control, based on earlier testing, virtually only over-the-counter medicines over the last year. Certainly used them, not staying away from medicines, but how to use basically over 1 year time only over-the-counter medicine. So this is a demonstration that it's real. Okay, so it's a little pornographic, but it's a real problem. I've been saying it like a voice in the wilderness. Problems with use of science to reproduce, trying to use science to create advanced children and stuff. So this will be semi-resembling pornographic, but evidence of my claims, but also, I have to imply, you have something that is potentially, here today. No, I can't guarantee I'll be even alive. Between today and tomorrow, ongoing war. The whole place is a war zone. It's a nuclear zone. I am alive and healthy, but let's see how we do right now. Okay, so but in Jerusalem, I do get tapes, and the trains here that where we live. I do work relating to trains and nuclear matters, but all with, I doubt it, and as soon as I believe, but here's something to look at for the New Year fireworks, maybe. Let's see. So, to resemble this new technology which you've seen before. The girls who have seen me online in pre-war or whatever, anything else, so you were talking about a new world where why have a war unless you're fighting or something. I'm not sure we're getting one right now, just another move. It's evident to what I've gone. You're probably better than ever, healthier, unshaved, cut. The problem is these people were not negotiating. People against us, fighting a secret war to the death, really, living on powdered chemicals, unnatural, and work from Jerusalem. Instructions, and don't even come to my bed unless you understand. Yeah, I need water, I need food, and I'm not afraid of powdered medicines or stuff like these other people living dry electricals. So the one thing they can't handle is water. Main alternative materials, but their water tends to rot out. And participate in the rotting of dead flesh that's preserved on these creatures. I have a lot of water in my system, so if water causes you trouble and you try not to, because the water, you're probably not even really alive. Now, if you're sleeping with someone of such thing, or as a female, I can, these guys are, degrading you because they're really 100% dead, living on electricals and powders. Obviously, as any gentleman, with 5 years without a girlfriend, and, first thing you want to do is play the field, but Revolution is a subtitle of my new book on lulu.com, and the point is, when you go through the Bible, book of Revelation, it's about evolution. Have you seen one of these lately? Try to avoid that. Maybe chocolate might be good for you. It's not quite pure chocolate, but you tell how good I am. But I'll show you we've got better than ever. So I think, I have written extensively. If it turns you on only, I'm ready. I'm ready right now. The thing is, life is a war. There are no friends in the world. Your mama's not your friend. Your sister's not a friend. Your brother's not a friend. If it turns you on, you want a baby, are the priorities. And, I've been out of the market for 2.5 years, no sex of any kind. And, obviously, supply and demand, and if you really want it, you come at it. If you want it, so those are rules of road. There's all militarized areas, and if you're a danger or a threat or attempted murderer, I might see you face to face. I might not. There's a lot of, there's a lot of security checks. Obviously on the road to, if you're up to see the wizard. Anyway, Happy New Year, Happy Solstice, Samir Karadia, and hope to fuck you, in the next 24 hours, baby. Ready for it? I'll fuck you real good, baby.